Hello again, everybody. This is Tony, aka Matrix Man Pones. I'm having the same trouble I did last time, where I could not find a very good video or a clean video that described the Ocarina of Time 3D hacks. For those who saw my last video, you guys gave me amazing feedback, very good support. I want to thank you guys right now. It meant a lot to me. I'm sorry I didn't give you a follow-up video sooner. A little bit of a letdown, a little bit of a letdown for me, a lot of personal issues, but I'm here giving you the latest update. I want to give two quick disclaimers up front. The first is I apologize for the audio quality. I have not had time to really get a good mic. I really do apologize. That's something that upset me, and I know hopefully it doesn't upset you guys too. The second disclaimer is for those who don't already know. If you're not familiar with Homebrew, if you're not familiar with hack payloads, please understand if you're not careful, if you don't really, pay careful attention and, don't go bragging to all your friends on Twitter and Instagram of, look, hey, fuck Nintendo. You could get banned or severely punished or suspended for what you're doing right now if you follow this tutorial. You do need to, keep humility in mind. And without further ado, let's get started. Now, this is taking into assumption that you already have the Homebrew launcher with Save Manager on your SD card to your 3DS already. If you do not have that, please go to Smealem's front page Homebrew installation. That is very easy to follow, very quick, and this is intended to use the Ocarina of Time 3D to get into Homebrew if you have no other method. So if you updated your DS, if you accidentally deleted another app, this is intended to get you back into Homebrew to do whatever you want to do, or to be your main access to Homebrew, which is what I use it for. So you're going to need two things up front. The first is the Powersaves dongle that plugs into your computer via USB, the Ocarina of Time cartridge. And then all the links to the payloads will be in the description, and I'll go over them in the video as well. And if you plan on playing Ocarina of Time, if you have already played it or have intent to play it in the future, please understand you will not be able to play it after you do this on the same cartridge. You could go through and delete all the backups and all the payloads, but it could still damage the cartridge for regular gameplay. So I highly advise, if you have already played it and want to keep it for vanity purposes, or if you want to play Ocarina of Time, which is a very good game, please go, hashtag not sponsored, please go and get another cartridge. But I'm going to start from the beginning, fresh, and show you how to put it on your cartridge. And I'll cut to my DS at the end of the video to show you what it should look like, because it does look a little glitchy to those who aren't used to Homebrew, so when it comes to that time, please don't panic. So starting off, when you've downloaded the Powersaves 3DS, it's going to ask you to insert the cartridge. After you do so, you hit backup. What you name it is not very relevant. For the sake of the video, I'm going to call it Oot3d, Ocarina of Time 3D. Okay, you can see it right here. Now, if you come up here to where the Powersaves will save the directory, if you have not changed the directory, this will go to your local disk. For me, it's C. Go to your users, and then the name of your PC. My name of PC is Tony. And it'll go to Powersaves 3DS. Now it's going to have this long, big, confusing name. However, you can see it has the Oot3d at the end of it. That's how you know it's the same name, and it's .bin. What you're going to need from here, once you've established the backup file, you're going to need to go to GitHub, Yellows8, Oot3d Hax releases. Now, he says that this latest payload is designed for update 11.1.0-34. I downloaded update 11.2.0-35 and it still works perfectly. This is being recorded on the 5th of December at 8 p.m. I just updated my DS, so it's the latest possible version, and it still does work fine. So don't let that freak you out if you're above the update limit. Okay, you're going to save and download this zip file here, the Oot3d Hax raw save images Hax Payload, and it will bring you to these card IDs subfolders. Okay, now the card ID cannot be directly established to my knowledge. It's just trial and error. You got a 50-50 shot. For me, the C2FE was the one that worked for me. So if you go into whichever card ID you have, and then you're going to select your region, Europe, Japan, or the United States of America. I'm in the USA. Now you're going to have all these different payloads in here. Now all these work with different updates, different models, different DSs, but how do you know which one is for you? Well, you go over here to Smilum, GitHub, to the 3DS, and to the other apps drop bin payloads. You're going to choose if it's a new DS or old DS, and there's an explanation here. Only select new if you're running the new 3DS XL. Regular 3DS, 3DS XL owners should use the old setting. So I'm running an old 3DS XL, so I want to select old. I'm on the latest update, which is 11.2.0-35, and I am in the United States. You're going to hit the download other app button underneath of that, and that will tell you what payload you need. Now it's going to download the payload here at the bottom. It's going to download that payload, that bin file. That is not the file you want. That is not up to date. It will not work correctly. You're using that to see which payload you need. At the bottom, mine is post5_u_26624 in the USA, ending in 9221. So I'm going to come back, and I can see that that's the very last file here. post5_u_26624 in the USA, ending in 9221. Now that you've identified which payload you need, this one's mine, yours might be different. Once you've identified this, you're going to come back to the 3DS Powersaves directory and open it next to the card ID and the region you're in. Take the payload you have identified as your needed payload for your firmware and DS type, and you're going to copy it over to here. Alright, once you've done this, the original backup file you saved, you're going to hit rename, copy it, and rename it. It does not matter what you rename it to, as long as it's not the same as it was. Now, the payload file that you've extracted, you're going to rename the payload file to the backup file. What you've now done is you have now forced the Powersaves to read the hack payload as its backup. Once you hit enter and it saves the file, come back into the 3D Powersaves and hit restore. It says, are you sure you wish to restore it? Tell it yes. It's going to reread and rewrite. Now you will see, if you're successful, the name of the payload will now be in the Powersaves file. From here, you insert the cartridge into your DS. The name that should appear when you hit A and load the save files, it should load as Hax with multiple X, multiple letter X's, and asterisks that go all the way across the screen. That is normal. Load that save file. You should be as Link, and all you do is quickly turn around and hit the A button on the bed. This will force trigger the payload to activate. This is where it gets a little glitchy if you are not familiar with it. Now, no other activities in the game will really work. Loading the map, loading other triggers, it'll just force it to crash. Once you have activated by clicking on the bed, it will send you directly into the Homebrew launcher. From here, if you want to use other apps, if you want to re-download any other thing that you use, this is where you do it. This is now your base of operations. You're in Homebrew. Congratulations. Now, if you are getting a little stuck up in some previous points and you're maybe rewinding this video back around the time that I gave you the card IDs, I'm going to open this up real quick. There are 2 card IDs. If you go to download the card ID payload and you get into the game and it's not working, it's just crashing and taking you back to the home launcher, try the other card ID. Mine is the C2F. Yours might be the 45F. Go to whatever region, and you can see there is a duplicate payload here with the same exact name. Try that payload. Maybe your card ID is different. Maybe you got to the end of this video and said, fuck this guy. Okay, it's possible. Try these other payloads if it keeps crashing on you. Try the other card IDs. Remember, you can always go to the other apps, drop in payloads if you have any problems beyond this. There are a lot of people on the GBA temp forums, as well as Smealum on Twitter, who help people out a lot, and I will be answering comments as much as I physically can. Please note I have a very demanding job, and a lot that's going on in my personal life. So if it takes me a little while, I apologize, but I will definitely be reading comments as much as I can. I want to thank everybody for coming to this video. I want to thank everybody again for the amazing support on my previous video. And I hope that the Homebrew launcher is working well for you. It's giving you everything you need. I know that I'm actually rebuilding my Alola Pokedex for Sun and Moon, but that's me. I'm a Pokemon freak. Anyways, thank you. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year from wherever you are.